On May 28, 1978, 4 out of 9 recreational scuba divers would drown within Mount Gambier's flooded sinkhole known as the Shaft. All 9 divers were relatively inexperienced in cave diving and did not adhere to common caving guidelines, such as strictly following planned limits and diving safety guidelines. When the 9 members arrived to the sinkhole, the original plan was to only explore 40 meters or 145 feet into the cave, to a point known as the rock pile. This point signified the collapsed center point of the sinkhole in which natural light illuminated the dark cave from the ceiling. Once they arrived to this point, the 9 divers should have turned around and returned to the entrance. However, they decided to move deeper within the cave. Unfortunately for them, they did not know that the rock pile was generally considered the boundary for safe recreational diving. The surrounding cavern they had began entering was dark, unexplored, and covered in loose silt and limestone rubble. It continued downward to depths where the effects of the nitrogen narcosis became extreme if the breathing gas is not diluted with helium. Nitrogen narcosis occurs when the divers go past 100 feet, and the nitrogen gas dissolves into the body tissues, affecting their brain and central nervous system. Once time had ran out, 5 of the 9 divers had returned to the rock pile, either low or almost empty on air. Upon realizing 4 were missing, the group rushed to the surface to call emergency services. Unfortunately, all 4 of the divers would be found deceased in different parts of the shaft. Some were stuck in a bowl, which is a false pocket of air which they believed they were making to the surface. However, they just became stuck. Another man, John Bockerman, one of the deceased divers, was found at the deepest point, 210 feet. He was last seen by another surviving diver, swimming directly downwards under the effect of nitrogen narcosis. He believed he was swimming up and not down.